Welcome to Save Your Pockets TV. This is the first season of Closet Restyle. Episode 1 is DIYing this Kim K inspired maxi dress. In this tutorial, you will need a sewing machine, scissors, a ruler, newspaper, gift wrapping paper, and something to pin your fabric with. So let's get started. Start by folding your shirt in half. At the stomach area, fold the sleeves in and then lay the shirt on the fold of the newspaper. Next, you want to trace the outline of the shirt and don't forget to add seam allowance. Go ahead and cut out your pattern. It should look something like this. Take your pattern and lay it on the fold of the newspaper. Trace it so that you will have 2 bodice pieces. Now you want to take your ruler and draw a diagonal line from the corner of the shoulder down to the bottom of the bodice. Go ahead and cut out your pattern. Now you should have your front and back bodice pieces. Now let's work on the sleeves. Take out your back bodice piece and trace along the armhole. Take out your ruler and draw a straight line the length of your arm. Go ahead and cut out your pattern. You should now have a pattern similar to the pattern that you see here. Measure the width of your wrist by the length of 6.5 inches. This will be your sleeve cuff pattern piece. Go ahead and cut out your pattern piece. You should now have 4 pattern pieces. Now measure your waist times 3 divided by 4. This will be the width of your front and back skirt panels. The length depends on how long you want your dress to be. I decided to make my skirt 43 inches plus seam allowance. Cut your pattern and lay it on the fold of your fabric exactly the way it comes off the boat. You should now have 2 skirt panels like this. Now let's go ahead and cut your front bodice piece. Pin your pattern to the fabric and then cut it out. You will need 2 front bodice pieces, so you will flip the pattern over, pin it down, and cut it out. Cut 2 sleeves, 2 arm cuffs, 2 front bodice pieces, and 1 back bodice piece, and you should now have 7 pattern pieces that look similar to the picture here. Now you want to roll hem your 2 front bodice pieces and your back bodice neckline, pin and sew each hem. Your 2 front bodice pieces should look something similar to the picture that you see here. Pin the 2 pieces as shown in the picture and sew both pieces together. Your pieces should now look something similar. Sew your sleeves and your sleeve cuffs right sides together. Fold your sleeve cuffs as shown here. Now pin your front bodice pieces and your back bodice piece right sides together. Now with your front bodice piece inside out and your sleeve right side out, sew the sleeve to the armhole, matching the bodice seam with the sleeve seam. You want to gather the end of your sleeve until it matches the same width of your sleeve cuff. Make sure that the bodice is inside out and the sleeve cuff is right side out. Pin and sew both pieces together for both sleeves. Now let's gather our back skirt panel piece. Set your machine to the longest stitch. Sure to leave a long tail of thread on each end of the fabric. Pull the thread gently until you've gathered your fabric. Make sure your skirt panel piece is gathered to match the width of your bodice. Secure the gathers with a straight stitch. So now it's time to measure out exactly where you want your split. Hold the fabric to your waist and measure down exactly where you want your split to start. Mark with a pin and cut a straight line from the tip of the fabric down to the bottom of the fabric where you placed your pin. Next, pin both pieces back together, but be sure to stop where you want your split to start. Sew the panels together, and you should now have two pieces of fabric that look similar to this. Roll hem both sides of the split and sew the hem. Now sew both your front and back skirt panel pieces right sides together. You should now have a front bodice and a gathered skirt. Next, you want to turn your skirt inside out and your bodice right sides out. Pin them both together, seam to seam, and sew. And you should now have this Kim K inspired maxi dress. I almost forgot to mention, make sure that you hem the bottom of your dress. I didn't take pictures of that step, but you do have to hem the bottom of it unless you get some type of stretch fabric.